Still not sure what I am. I'm just living my life, day to day.
You should be out there helping people.
You think I asked for any of this? I was put in some tank like an exotic fish.
Luke Cage is a man who basically has been wrongly convicted and sent to prison, and through that process, he was put through an experiment, an illegal experiment, that not only gave him these powers, but also saved his life. He used those powers to escape. He then escaped, and what he ended up doing was basically finding a life for himself under the radar and creating an alias for himself, which is Luke Cage. That's not his real name. So he's trying to figure out his life and trying to rebuild, and he finds himself in Harlem, and a community that's in need of leadership.
So what the hell are you afraid of?
Major buck. You a slave to a page in my rhyme book. Getting big money, playboy, your time's up.
Soundtrack is really spectacular. Adrian Young, who some people might know from his records with Ghostface Killer, 12 Reasons to Die, in addition to the soundtrack of Black Dynamite, and Ali Shaheed Muhammad, who everyone knows from A Tribe Called Quest, came together to do the score. And the score it's really everything. It gives the series a pulse that's unlike anything, people have seen for a long time. I mean, it's evocative, it's provocative. It's one of these things that just gives it's almost like another special effect, honestly. But in addition to this incredible score, which we used a 30-piece orchestra, which is rare, we also, of course, had live performances from Jidenna, Faith Evans, Raphael Sadiq, the Delphonics. Method Man also makes a very interesting appearance. There's nothing like it on television. And I think, honestly, musically, nothing's messing with us.
Oh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Oh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it.
As a kid, you used to imagine you'd jump off of couches, you'd pick things up that, even if it was not that heavy, you would imagine that it was heavier than it was. You'd lift a table and you go, ugh, and you just imagine that you're throwing something that's really heavy. I mean, your imagination ran wild as a kid. Now we have like 120 some odd crew members, and they're all there to kind of make this dream a reality. So it's kind of a cool thing.
I promise you, I'm gonna be the king.
Cottonmouth is truly in love with Misty Knight. And it is his motivation for trying to take over and control Harlem.
He used to stalk her in high school.
Yes, he needs Misty vision in his life. Cornell Cottonmouth Stokes is a gun runner who also is a nightclub owner. He owns a nightclub that has been in his family for many years. So for Harlem, he's old money, so to speak. And he deals with trying to maintain his foothold or his sense of control over Harlem. And Luke Cage is a real thorn in his side and a threat to that.
Blood everywhere, none of it his. He had bullet holes in his shirt. How did he not get hit?
And Misty Knight is a detective who was born in Harlem, born and raised. And she is very much about catching this guy and stopping him from poisoning her community any further. And Luke Cage kind of comes and gets in the middle of that. And so she is a woman who is very determined to protect her community and to protect the people who live in there because they're her family, they're her friends, they're the people that she grew up around. But it's almost like you have that bad cousin who keeps messing up at the family reunion.
She's just in
peeing
love.
in the potato salad.
She's just in love with Cottonmouth and being a little bit of a hater. That's all it is.
Harlem, perpetual symbol of hope and prosperity.
Well, Harlem is the cultural nexus of Black America when you look at its history. I would call it the combination of Washington, D.C. and Las Vegas, because you have the entertainment, the Apollo Theater, in its history, the Cotton Club, Lloyd Price's Turntable, Lennox Lounge, Small's Paradise. But you also have it as a political center because of figures like Adam Clayton Powell and Malcolm X. But then again, you also have a criminal side, of course, the Bumpy Johnsons of the world, Nicky Barnes and Frank Lucas, who Denzel Washington played in American Gangster. So it's one place where everything comes together. So when you know that you have a locale with that kind of history, and then you add Luke Cage and Marvel and Netflix to the mix, I just think it just makes for a spectacular combination.
You knocked down a few doors in the projects, and now you Harlem's hero.
I'm just getting started.